What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Showtime. It's Blazer King with King's Critiques, and we're back for ReZero. And small little tidbit. Last episode, I made a couple of jokes about, planes and stuff. And actually, it's jets, because apparently there's a jet show in town this week, and, well, that's apparently something I can't really avoid, so I'll have to do my best to pause it if I hear them starting overhead. But that said, and out of the way for at least the Patreon side, if not the other side, in case of awkward cuts like the last episode. They got to the tower. They're underground the tower area, in the dunes and stuff. And, well, a couple of pretty bad things happened. But, of course, Subaru being Subaru, they're all alive. Kind of. However, the Sage of the Tower didn't get found. She found them. Is that a good or a bad thing? Well, we're about to find out exactly how good or bad it might be. So, of course, let me know your thoughts on things in the comment section down below. Or wait till the end, red-black differences, because you can't edit on black, because they have a couple of decent things, and then everything else is just meh. But, of course, hit the like button, subscribe, let the whole thing run through, let me get the watch time, and let's get started. Oh, good. Now he's having an episode being assaulted by previous sins that he's defeated. Okay, so he was Sloth. I was right about that earlier. Okay. So, is this Satella touching him within his subconscious? Reminding him of who the hell he is? Indeed it is, it looks like. Allegedly, assuming. Yes, and since it's all in one piece, that's a good sign. Oh, and another caveat I did forget to bring up, the air conditioner's on again, because if you're going to hear the airplane noise on occasion anyway, I may as well just leave it on to keep myself from sweating. Because wearing black, regardless of it only being 74, allegedly, it's still sweaty. Yeah, right? Like, that would be your first thought based on what was just happening. But they're still at the bottom of that pit, it looks like. But at least the carriage is in one place, and I would assume the other dragon's safe too. Meanwhile, she hasn't killed him yet, so that's a good sign, like she actually helped get him to the carriage and get the carriage somewhere safe. I would assume that was her. Otherwise, how would it have got there? See, now, right now he has to question within himself. Does he ask why she targeted him before and tried to obliterate them before they even arrived? Or does does he thank her for saving them that last time? Pause? Like, not the first one to react to him like that weirdly, but why were you trying to murder him before if that's somehow the case? Well, if she's as old as you'd be led to believe, obviously she has some kind of strength. I mean, not all of the power in her body went to... or her magic. Okay, now, poor Subaru in one case, because, like, as fun as it is to be embraced tightly by a hot woman, his spine is shattering right now, and Betty does not look like she's having a good time either, honestly. Meanwhile, Amelia comes out to see what the fuck's happening, and now everybody is probably questioning it. Which secondary question, where's Anna and Rem gone off to with Parshith? Meanwhile, she's kicking him for what reason? For why? Like, jealousy I get, but this is beyond his control. Like, does it seem like he's reciprocating the affection? Does it seem like Betty is aware of what the fuck's happening while she's stuck down there? Shut up. Like, whatever is happening is not in his control. Like, the fact she's taking affections to him is probably a good thing, because maybe she'll be more willing to help them. But whatever the hell is going on is not in his control. Right, like, honestly. And people having some kind... like, he has that protagonist syndrome, obviously, because he is the protagonist. But, like, they're doing a better job of confusing people about how people are magnetized to him than in any other show, really. Because, like, think of something like One Piece, to where the only example of acknowledging people just being drawn to Luffy pre-announce, a mention of anything about Conqueror's Hockey, was just Luffy's just that kind of guy. And for a majority of anime, that is pretty much how they usually explain protagonist syndrome. Is he's just that kind of guy. People love him. Like, at least with One Piece, they went a little bit more in depth eventually once they mentioned hockey and the different variants of it. And Conqueror's Hockey, whether it be intentional or otherwise, is probably a lot of what helps Luffy. But in most other anime, it's really just, he's a great guy. And in this case, it's probably something to do with the powers within, but... Okay, so by the way, she just went into things that would explain a lot of why she tried to destroy them outright when they were arrived, because apparently that's what whatever version of his inner self was before told her to do that. And, like, I'm here on another thought process of maybe it's not just the powers within, but also, like, maybe a super checkpoint that is going to be revealed in the late game of this. Like, I don't know if the manga for this is finished yet, so obviously don't say anything if this is the case. But, like, what if there's some super endgame thing to where the bullshit he's going through now is a good way, like, to put it, kind of like a How I Met Your Mother kind of thing, to where it's more of telling us the story from way back instead of the point that he currently is at. It's a thinker. Is it not you? Because that would be embarrassing that they came all this way. But obviously you're still super strong, so maybe that would mean you can still help somewhat. See, now she's about to go into the whole spiritual powers kind of thing, right? Okay, well, yes, but no. Because the way in a lot of these types of situations, mana is also perceived as a smell, so that is probably how she means it, I would hope. Yes, that is what she meant, but man, that sounds offensive. Yeah, that's very offensive. Like, I'm aware she means in the mana way, but that is so insulting. Ayo, Amelia, is that an invite? Oh, good, so they all have names? So she probably is the sage that they're looking for, she's just not acknowledging it. Meanwhile, she's just still going with what she said before about Subaru being her master. Which again comes down to multifaceted questions. Like, is her master Satella? Is her master Beetlejuice? Is her master whatever third presence is lying within him? Because we know there's something else lying within him. And is that third thing based on what I said earlier, where it's like a super future present version of himself? I was about to say that. Ram says something about him hitting his head on a chamber pot and forgetting things. And bitch says again. What do you mean again? Has whoever your old master has done that before? Which weirdly kind of fits in with what I said just a moment ago. Flugel. So, everyone seems aware of what she just said but him. No, that's just her. Also, she's not fully naked. Did you want her to be fully naked? I kind of want her to be fully naked. I mean, what? Who said that? Okay, that's rude. Like, she's probably stronger than Melee. That's the scary part of this whole thing. Semantics. She what? She lifted a dragon and a carriage all the way down there? Huh? Oh no, she actually literally lifted them. Pause. Pleiades Tower is basically the Library of Alexandria. Huh. I mean, that's kind of lit and does help them in a lot of ways if she's being real. Oh, actually looks like a nice little area where I guess they've been healing from their injuries statically. Which is cool, because apparently Parshath was, taken in slightly injured, so she's feeling better. Rem is a different story. Yeah, no, it might heal physical injuries, but it can't heal. Try that again. Editing me. Cut. Yeah, it can heal physical injuries, but not spiritual or mental, apparently. But at least physical is a good thing, because that can help a lot of stuff, realistically. He's asking that nothing changed even though they came all this way. But again, the library that can tell you anything and everything you would ever want to know that has currently existed up to this point, and probably somewhat beyond, because libraries like that weirdly have a way of predicting the future, I would imagine, based on whatever, fantasy you want to believe in, whether it's something like whatever this is, which is similar to the Library of Alexandria, which I think is connected to some religious nonsense. I could be wrong about that. I've heard the Library of Alexandria used in several different, formats, Avatar being the first primarily, but still. So, like, do your research, man. Yeah, and while Rem's in charge of that, him, Amelia, and Julius can flip through books. Yeah, bitch. At least once, in your knowledge, that was us. The wobble was a little unnecessary. Okay, but like, I get Flugel for wanting to tell her to not let people approach if the library has that kind of potential to have every bit of knowledge to ever exist. Because there's a lot of people that could come and use that for very bad reasonings. Like, even if she can take care of herself, as far as, like, XYZ, people coming in and learning things they shouldn't and using that in the outside world, that's a different story. She wouldn't be able to help much. Not what he's. What is with all these people and thinking everything like that's perverted? I mean, granted, in her case, never mind. I still don't fully trust the bitch. Like, he says not to harm him or his friends, but I still don't trust the bitch. Because, like, a lot of the time in this show, being completely frank, people who are hot try to harm him plenty first. Because, like, Elsa actually truly fucking evil and tried to hurt him originally. Like, pretty sure at one point Amelia tried to hurt him for XYZ reasoning. Rem and Ram tried to kill him numerous times originally. Frederica tried to harm him and his friends originally, as I remember. So, like, and at least Meili isn't, like, ruining things for them by looking at her and being like, that's not him, that guy's dead. Because I could totally peg her to be the one that ruins everything for them at some point. Okay. So, what's the trick here? Is he supposed to, like, find the real monolith among all of the imposters? Is that his little thing? Or is this just going to be one of those tests that fuck with his inner psyche of, like, each of them is going to represent a different one of his emotions or something? Okay, so basically, the first one he was near is a reset point in case he, like, fucks up or something. And that's both a good and a bad thing, because it's good, meaning you can get into the thing if you do it correctly. However, it's bad because for a normal person, they'd lose their goddamn minds trying to do that over and over and over and over again. Damn, that's bad to pinpoint her as the one who would just, like, go and touch random things to see if it'd work and keep resetting herself. But I mean, if at least one of them did it previously, that means he doesn't have to be the fool who does it. Though it seems like she's a little bit embarrassed, but I don't blame her. Okay, but, like, what is that question supposed to mean? Like, the one that was killed by her touch upon the grandest splendor, what does that even mean, honestly? Because it's not either of the thought processes I had in the beginning, but I'm also just waffling on using this as an excuse for other reasons. But honestly, I would like to know y'all's opinions before it actually comes up. I know it's not a stream thing, so it's kind of hard to tell if you actually comment below when I'm asking you, but I digress. Dumbass, she said that she was surprised he was dead because he died by old age. Yeah, just having that man's name brought up, she ran off. Right, and again, it was already brought up that he died of old age, so Subaru just said something kind of dumb and scared the bitch for no reason. Damn, tell us how you really feel about him. Damn. So I'm gonna take a guess that this Rain, the old swordmaster or whatever that died, is the red-haired dude we saw and of course the fucking red-haired dude. He's the great grandpa of fucking Ryan. Never mind, it's definitely that. They're gonna find a way to meet up with him. Meanwhile, Julius looks kind of sick to his stomach because she's talking all this shit. Okay, I'm not giving a deep thought process to this, but I literally want to ask, what the fuck is he talking about in this instance? So she did say she's not Shuala the Sage, though that is a name that people have given to her for what she said. But maybe she's not the one that people are looking for, and there is another one people are looking for that's supposed to be the one taking the place of Flugel. Or maybe he's just talking out his fucking ass. The bead that ties her hair together? Do you think that's something important to pay attention to? Apparently he figured something out. Whether it has to do with that bead, suppose we'll see, but suppose it's a start, since he asked for Betty specifically to spring into action. That's his idea? Interesting. Time to yeet the little girl. Oh, he didn't throw her. He actually just, flew up with her. I legit thought he was just gonna boop! Because, little girl is at least more accurate to say than child, because, again, the bitch is 5,000 years old. Oh? Do you? Asterism? I mean, that was the title of the episode, so I guess it's the title of the episode, but is that what he actually said, or was he just alluding to he knew? Yeah, but you yourself said you didn't remember anybody after the first 100. Allegedly. Ah, but you just said yourself you were given the name Shuala by Flugel, which means, like he said, that name has deeper meaning. So there was another Shuala than the Shuala knew about. So the craziness he said earlier actually makes some kind of sense. Oh, okay. So again, he uses his real world logic to apply to a situation in here. Weirdly, this has worked out for him a lot so far. But considering the sins kind of have constellation names, actually that was a great thought process to go on. And that's probably exactly what he had in mind when he went above to take a look at things. Because the way the monoliths stand probably form that constellation. So it probably forms the Belt of Orion. Exactly how I thought of it, meaning. And once again, yep, exactly what I thought he was thinking of. At least once he started to talk more about it. Because again, like with the sins, the stars and constellations seem to have a lot to do with what's going on in this world. Which is something he honestly should start considering more. And honestly, if he manages to get back to the real world, maybe being an astrologist is in his future, because goddamn. He knows a lot about this stuff. Because, I know some constellations and stuff, but I've never paid this much attention to it. So, of course, he's going to touch the one that he thinks represents Beetlejuice, because that's the thing he has within himself. Oh, is he choosing the opposite one? I mean, worst case scenario, it resets and then he just tries again, I guess. Seems like that was the correct answer. And now here they are in the library of, well, in this case, Pleiades. But it's not just getting there that was the case. Now it's a matter of finding the information they need. Thumbnail for the next episode's concerning, by the way, but we'll worry about the current episode that we're going to go into when we go into it. But for now, we give the ending bit of this episode, which is, again, I said before that Subaru is a man to be respected out of isekai protagonist at the very least, and these are reasons why. He's using his real world logic to apply it to this fantasy world, because a majority of the time it's ended up working out for him quite well. When he thought of what Sigmund Freud said last episode, not so much, because they all lost their minds and killed each other. That's neither here nor there, I guess. But as far as the constellation stuff, that he's actually been accurate about a majority of the time. Like, whether it has to do with the sins or stuff like this, it's worked out. Can't wait to see what other kind of bullshit he can come up with, in the meantime, to getting back to the big fight. Because obviously the main reason they need to get back people's, skills and ability, or, skills, not skills. Cut that out. Well, I probably won't. This is ending, but I usually don't edit stuff in the end, but whatever. Memories, people's memories of, like, Julius and Rem. I almost said Ram. I watched like 4 of these in a row. My bad. Because if the memories of those two come back, then they'll have 2 very capable fighters at full strength. And that would be a good thing. Because Julius's spirits not remembering him is a bad thing. Rem being completely unconscious is also a bad thing. So hopefully they find out what they need to do so they can get back fighting in full force. But we will find that out in the upcoming episode. And you can let me know things that, you've been able to think of up to this point of the show in the comment section down below. And of course, as always, please don't forget, let me know about my other shows, movies, etc. I should check out this season, next season, or in general as well in the comment section. Hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell, as well as subscribe to stuff and ring their bells there in the description. I always say that stuff together and I forgot. Oopsie. Like Facebook, follow Twitter, Blue Sky, TikTok, Patreon, and Twitch. Subscribe to the Patreon and Twitch for benefits. Patreon specifically, get the full and visual and all the other stuff you upload here, or I upload here. Until next time, been the Blazer King with King's Critique. So ta-ta for now. Peace.